everyone. Welcome to Granny Rocks Our World. I am Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks. Tonight, I am going to be talking about the topic of if we were in the Democratic debate tonight, what would we propose? So it's kind of a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but at the same time, pretty damn serious. And I'd like to acknowledge the fact that there is a debate tonight, and a lot of our regular people are going to be watching TV. But we aren't. We're here, and partly because we have a commitment to be here, but also because we don't have a television. So we'll check. we'll find out later. And Erica said hello to you both, so we have
Hello.
at least one person with us, and I bet there are others as well. So before I go on and talk about this topic, and by the way, I am not addressing this just to Americans. This topic is really for everyone and anyone who has a voice anywhere. You'll see what I mean when I start talking about it. But first, let me introduce you to sweet baby James.
Well, hello, everybody.
And he's going to introduce our show.
Welcome once again to Granny Rocks Our World. And you can bet she's going to rock our world again tonight. And we're going to have a chance to have a pretty open-minded discussion. And we welcome your chats, your comments, your questions. And we're on every Monday and Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. And so now, without further ado, here's Granny.
Hi there. Well, first I would like to say hello to the people who have joined us since the last time I said hello to people. Tracy said hi.
Hello,
Hi,
Tracy.
And Larby wrote,
Yes.
hello, dear. How are you? And Larby actually joined us, I think, last time on Dreams of Peace.
Last time. Oh,
Wasn't on Dreams of Peace?
That is so right.
So we're so
welcome,
happy to welcome you. And Larby is not in the U.S. So and I'm sure that other of our viewers are not in the U.S. So you've already introduced the show.
Yes,
right?
indeed. So carry on.
So
right?
I need to actually say something about the topic. Well, you're going to see in a minute why this applies to everybody. You know, I am asking the question, if we were in, Christine said hola, so hola back. So if we were in the Democratic debate tonight, what would we propose? See, first I want to look at that's the Democratic Party. For those of you who are not familiar with what's going on in American politics, the Democratic Party is trying to get together some candidates to beat the Republicans and Trump in 2020, right?
That's right.
Okay. So Elizabeth said hello, and hello, Elizabeth.
Hello.
So first of all, tonight, even as we speak, the Democratic Party is holding its first debates. There's going to be more tomorrow. And so they're all going to be trying to get our vote, right? And they're going to be saying whatever they're going to say. But what I'm saying applies to you if you live in any country where people are trying to get your vote, or where people are trying to get your business, or where people are trying to influence you in any way. And Helen says, Helen is here. Oh, hello, Helen. It's so glad to see you. So first of all, if you are watching the debate later, of course, after the show, or before you watch our video, how are you approaching the debate? I'm going to get to the other question a little later. Todd said, hi, Beth and James. Hi, Todd. And Larby says, this is good. You are fine and happy. Well, I am fine and happy because I am with you and our other friends. That's what makes me fine and happy. Otherwise,
all around.
I would not be feeling all that great tonight. But you guys make me happy. So thank you for asking. So how are we approaching this debate? Have we already picked a side? Do we already know who we're supporting, and we're just going out there to cheer for our guy?
Or gal.
Or gal. Or, you know, have we already narrowed it down without actually hearing what the other contenders have to say? Now, I wouldn't do that. Would you ever do that?
Well, no. In fact, I've been checking out the different positions of the different candidates, and a lot of them have really good things to say.
Well, that's really good. But most people, many people, let's say, already have made up their mind between 1, 2, 3. But they definitely, I mean, if Trump were at the debate, I know that I would not be voting for him, for instance. So, you know what I'm saying? I've already made up my mind about a lot of things. But wouldn't it be good if we went into these debates really with an open mind? Let's say what we're looking for is not, what is it? I'm a farmer. What is this person going to do for farmers? Or if I'm black, what is this person going to do for blacks? Or if I'm a woman, that's a big if. What's this person's position on women? Or are we actually looking at it in terms of who is this person on the inside? How are they likely to handle situations that they haven't even seen yet? So sure, I'd like to know what people are proposing, but so often they don't really get a chance to follow through and on what they're proposing anyway, right? So what, other than what people are proposing, their positions, I want to get a sense of who this person is, because this person is going to be sitting there facing all kinds of challenges in the future. By the way, Larby said, yes, I am very happy with your presence, your smile, and your playing on the piano. I'm not playing the piano tonight, but thank you. So you see what I'm saying? Like, okay, you never really know what you're going to do once you are in a position. It's like saying, sticking there and saying, my mother raised me wrong, right? And when I'm a parent, I'm going to do this and this and this and this, and I'm never going to do the things that my mother did, or I am going to do the things that my mother did, right? And yet when you're in this situation, all of a sudden everything looks different, because you become aware of all the sides. Okay, this one is screaming about the economy, and this one is screaming about the workers, and this one is screaming about the migrants, and this one is screaming about global warming. I wish we were all screaming about global warming and so on. And so while it's really important to know what people are thinking, it's more important to know who they are as people and their capacity to actually synthesize and integrate the information that they receive once they do get in office. Franklin said, hello from El Salvador.
Hello.
Buenas noches.
Yes.
So that's the first thing that I really want to share is, instead of being completely fixated on, I like this one's personality, or I've already made up my mind, or I like this one's position, to really think about who this person is and how they're going to be able to handle all of the challenges that are going to come to them, and how capable are they, not just of standing up for what I believe, but looking at what is so on the broader scale, not just defending my interests, but looking at the good of the whole. See, that's what I think we should be looking at when we are evaluating anybody who's going to be in a leadership position. And that could include your women's club. You know what I mean? It's not just politics. And let's not get carried away by somebody's charisma. It's like, oh, they're so funny, or this is the one who put down the opposition the best. Oh, yeah, they're really tough. Or they're, like, oh, they're going to get Trump, or
they scored points,
or she's going to get Hillary, or he's, yeah. I don't care about how many points they scored. Let's use our X-ray vision to the degree that we can to look into the hearts of the people who are standing there, and not what they're pretending, which is not so easy. Some of it we can see by looking at their record, right? What have they done in the past? But some of them, we will never know from the past what they're going to do in the future. So that's something I really want you to look at. Now, the next thing I brought up was the topic. Todd says, I agree. Who are they, and how would they handle every situation? I'm so glad that you agree with this, Todd, because I'm not sure that most of us are thinking that way when we're evaluating the candidates. Where it's like, oh, they're for gun control, or they're against gun control, or they're for abortion, or they're against abortion. But let's see the nature of the person, and let's start looking at their thinking. How do they think?
Right.
How do they put together information? Are they looking at the good of the whole? So now I did say that we were going to talk about what would we propose. Oh, Elizabeth said, how would one find out? Well, one thing we can do is listen carefully to the energy behind their statements. For example, if somebody is trying to get oh, Erica said, and who do they surround themselves with? That's a very good point. That's one way, Elizabeth, that we can start evaluating people is by looking at who they surround themselves with. But we can also see whether they are looking to score points and make themselves popular by taking on causes that they believe people support. We can see that versus listening to them very carefully and listening to the way they connect the dots. How else can we evaluate the way they think except to look at what they've done in the past, but also observe and look at the way they treat one another on the stage, right? What kind of attitude are they showing towards each other? That's part of it. I mean, and part of it is just your instinct, Elizabeth. But putting that question in your mind is going to be important. Now, I would like to ask us a funny question is like, what would we be proposing? You know, what do we think people need? And this is so important because, see, the question, Elizabeth, to me is, what do we need? Not just the people in New York, not just the people in California, not just the people in the United States. People everywhere. What do people need? And how can we begin to organize the society in order to deliver to people what they need? And is that the approach? See, if this were my, you know, if I were evaluating them, I would be looking at that. Are these candidates trying to polarize us into camps and get some followers and by revving up the anger against other people, which is a very popular thing to do, as we all know, right? Or is the person presenting themselves in a way that is actually taking into account what everybody needs? For example, supposing I want to see something, you know, to protect tenants. Tenants, that's people who are renting homes and apartments. I also want to know that if you are going to be taking that on, tenants' rights, for example, I want to know that you're also thinking about the landlord and his or her investment. Maybe that person has worked all their life to own an apartment building somewhere, right? This is their retirement. Maybe that person isn't Mr. Fat Cat. Maybe it's just a poor guy, you know, who's trying to figure out how to make it after, you know, his retirement or her retirement. Do you see what I mean? I want to know that everything is taken into account. Now, I don't mean that I don't believe that we should completely overthrow the way everything is. Tracy says we need to build a sense of community, not only locally, but internationally. So she's getting to the answer now of what people need. She said, we need to build a sense of community, not only locally, but internationally. We need to use our minds to find and implement solutions to climate change. We need to create a society where we care about each other and the earth. I could not agree with you more. And I want to hear our candidates talking about that. I want to hear our candidates saying it's not about America first. It's about people and the earth first, and using our economic power in order to support the building of communities locally and internationally, to use our money and our power to find and implement solutions to climate change, to use our money and our power to create a society where we care about each other and the earth. Obviously, that would change everything. Yes,
I read
Jim.
something in one of your books that came from guidance from a higher level, which indicated, I am not just my brother's keeper, I am my brother. We are one. We are all in it together. We're all one family.
That's right.
And so, starting with that sense of oneness and connection, we look out for each other. We look to see that everybody's needs are met.
That's right.
You've talked about a term you've called the potluck revolution. Would
Yes.
you like to share a little bit more about that?
Well, yes. In the United States, we have something which we call a potluck, and I bet you've got it all over the world, because we have listeners all over the world. And that means you come to an event and you bring something that you have,
A
that you
potluck
can
dinner,
make.
usually.
It's what they call a potluck dinner. That means, so you bring the potato salad, and you bring the chicken, and you bring the vegan dishes, and you bring the whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you bring what you can, and you can eat whatever is there, as long as you have done your part. And so I call it the potluck revolution, where we contribute what we have and we receive what we need. I'm going to talk about this again. This is a very old idea that I know was bouncing around in the 19th century, from each according to his or her ability, and to each according to his or her need, except they didn't say her at that time. And that is the foundation of what I believe the world needs, is a caring society where we look after each other and the earth, and that we bring what we have. So I want to give us a challenge from this night. Tracy said, yes, the wording I used regarding caring for people on the earth comes from you, Granny, and I agree with you. You didn't have to say that, Tracy, but it's true. It came from me. But it's probably other people. And Larby said, yes, my dear, God created people and tribes to get to know each other and to exchange cultures and things, to make the world and peoples among them, and to provide the best and the best. Oh, I could not agree with you more. And I would like to see that be the number one point of anyone who wants my vote. And I need to challenge myself to consistently ask myself, is what I'm doing really for the highest good of all? Am I getting to know others and exchanging cultures and being in a mutual support like Larby is talking about, and caring for people on the earth? Or am I just totally self-centered? And Tammy said, wonderful. Mwah.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad that you're here. So we need to turn our entire world upside down, as you can see. And I have to start with me. And so I can't do everything or fix every problem. We are driving a car that uses gasoline and so on, and I feel really bad about it. But what I can do is something. I can get on this live stream twice a week, no matter how bad I feel, and try to speak to the hearts of other people. I can play the piano for you every Thursday night at 7 o'clock on Dreams of Peace, where I pour my heart and my soul into this music, where I'm hoping that I'm going to touch your heart and soul. These are things that I can do. I am a pretty crippled lady. In fact, I'm, very disabled. And I hardly ever leave the house. But there are things that I can do. And that's what I propose to do. To do what I can, and to call on others to make their contribution, and to stop competing with each other for the prize. I want to hear your good idea, and I want to hear your good idea. Wouldn't it be wonderful, instead of having a democratic debate? Oh, Tammy says, I can shop for y'all.
Wow.
Tammy is a neighbor. Can you believe it? Really?
Thank you, Tammy.
That would be really good.
Awesome.
Really,
And
really.
she gave us 4 thumbs up for what's being discussed.
Oh
what's
my
being
God, Tammy, you are,
said.
an angel. Well, we'll have to talk to you about that. I don't do the shopping. Sweet baby James does everything physical in this house. I mean, everything except sometimes I turn on a light, but even that is occasionally too hard for me. I mean, I'm not. So anyway, but you see what I'm saying? Wouldn't it be better if instead of having a debate tonight, we had a confab of the brilliant minds that are on that stage and will be on that stage tomorrow, where we contribute. What a man. You have no idea. This man cooks. He sort of cleans, not really. He cleans the kitchen and he does the shopping. He does everything for me because I'm pretty crippled. So, but I also do things, right? I have a part in all of this. And wouldn't that be awesome? Instead of the Democratic debate.
Yeah, we're partners. We collaborate. We cooperate. We each plays a part.
The Democratic candidate cooperation, co-op, where people come
What if they're
together,
all on stage talking about how they could have a cooperative together?
or how they can help each other, what ideas we can all put together. Tammy, you keep changing the subject. I have to finish the show. So nobody's getting this man. Nobody. I need this man. So anyway,
and I need you.
Okay, so do you get what I'm saying? Love will keep us together.
So
yes, indeed. In fact, I have a song called Love is What's Worth Fighting For. And I was thinking about playing it through the Wirecast live stream one of these days, the recording, because I can't always sing because anyway, I start coughing and everything. But it's Love is What's Worth Fighting For. And connection. Yes, Larvey said we all feel happy when we find someone who loves us and take care of our smile, and we do the same thing. So I love music because it combines talent, love, and relaxation.
Yeah, me too.
Well, this guy is giving a real plug for you turning on Dreams of Peace tomorrow night at 7 p.m.
Love and relaxation stimulated by this talent and this wonderful grand piano.
Right, it's a great grand piano. And if you can't watch it, at 7, you can always watch it later. But anyway, you see what I'm saying? Let's stop debating. Let's stop competing. Let's start bringing our ideas together. I can contribute one good idea. You can contribute another. Nobody has to stand up there and pretend that they have all the answers like we're asking these candidates to do. Right? Mm-hmm. So my proposal is that we change the format of the whole thing and start focusing on solving problems rather than winning prizes and elections. So Mondays and Wednesdays, we are on live at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time doing Granny Rocks Our World. And Thursday night, we have Dreams of Peace at 7 p.m. And we also have Pacific time. And we also have a program called Growth that you can join where we talk to each other after the shows.
We're going to have one of those tonight.
Every Wednesday
we are.
Night and I do my little intervention thing with people. And so that's it. I hope that I shook your world a little bit tonight and that we're all a little happier and feel more connected for it.
Yes. We are family.
We are family. Thank you so much. Love you all.
Yeah, I love you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.